Just imagine meeting someone who drives a luxury car, but asks for extra ketchup packets at McDonald's like it's a stock investment, or someone decked out in designer clothes while dodging collection calls from their bank. Yeah, that, my friend, is called looking rich while staying broke. And trust me, it's more common than you think. That's why what you're about to learn today is literally 7 expensive habits that make you look poor. And more importantly, how to flip each one so you can actually build wealth without the broke behavior. Because honestly, here's the cold truth. Some of the most expensive habits out there are the ones that make you look poor. Not because they cost a lot up front, but because they drain your wallet, sabotage your goals, and scream, "I'm flexing for people who don't even like me." How about we change that narrative, shall we? Habit 1, financial flexing. Let me first explain a truth bomb to you that I want you to remember for the rest of your life. The biggest offender to most people in this society is flexing for the feed. You know what I mean. Posting champagne bottles, designer shoes, luxury watches, all for 27 likes and a comment from your cousin saying, "Big baller." But here's the truth nobody wants to admit. If you need to show people you have money, you probably don't. Financial flexing is a bottomless pit. You buy one thing to impress, then someone else one-ups you. So you upgrade again. Next thing you know, you're broke in Gucci. It's a game with no finish line. And it's not just expensive, it's exhausting. You're constantly trying to win approval from people who wouldn't lend you $20 if your tire blew out. And here's the kicker. Most of the truly wealthy people, they're invisible. They're not flexing on social media. They're investing in index funds, buying real estate, and showing up in a $20 t-shirt while owning $20 million in assets. How to flip it? Start embracing stealth wealth. Instead of buying symbols of wealth, buy actual assets. Get that high-yield savings account. Max out your Roth IRA. Make your money so boring that it's sexy. Let your portfolio flex in silence. But hey, if posting pictures of your 1,200 Balenciagas makes you feel better while your credit card weeps, just wait till you see what this next habit is doing to your bank account. Habit 2, lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is that sneaky little voice that says, "You got a raise? Sweet, let's blow it." Here's what changed everything for me. The moment you start earning more, you start spending more on better cars, better clothes, better brunches. Suddenly, your expenses rise exactly with your income. You're stuck on a treadmill, running hard, going nowhere. Real example, Steve made $40,000 and survived. Now he makes $80,000 and still lives paycheck to paycheck, but now with artisanal soap and an espresso machine he doesn't even know how to use. Here's the trap. You feel wealthier, but your net worth hasn't moved an inch. That raise didn't go toward your future. It went toward a shinier version of the same financial struggle. You're still broke, just with better lighting. And the worst part? You start adjusting your identity to this lifestyle. You need the new car to feel accomplished. You deserve the $18 cocktails. The line between self-worth and net worth gets blurry, and that's when it gets dangerous. How to flip it? Every time your income increases, freeze your lifestyle for at least 6 months. Use that surplus to invest, pay off debt, or stack your emergency fund. That way, when your expenses do go up, it's because you planned it, not because your dopamine said, "Treat yourself." And this is an important point I've been wanting to tell you. Build your lifestyle on a lag. Let your financial wins compound behind the scenes before you change a thing. That's how real wealth is built. Quietly, patiently, and on purpose. By the way, it's not just about bad habits here. If you're someone still working on your path to financial freedom, this channel will be your blueprint. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and join our members list to never miss a beat. Now let's talk about a different kind of addiction, one that feels harmless, even productive, until you do the math. Habit 3, daily convenience spending. Look, I don't know anyone who hasn't gone through this stage, including myself. We're talking Uber Eats, Starbucks, Amazon buy now buttons, aka the trifecta of financial sabotage. Oh, and I also see people in the comments saying things like, "Come on, $5 or $10 won't hurt. It's just $9 for a burrito." Sure. But you're doing that 3 times a week. That's $1,400 a year on tortilla-wrapped regret. And that's just food. Add in a $5 latte, a few random Amazon treats. And before you know it, you've spent a down payment on things you forgot you even ordered. That is one of the biggest problems most young people have, and I'm sure you might be one of them. Convenient spending isn't about what you're buying, it's about the blind spots it creates. Here's a real example to make this a little more clear. Sarah doesn't budget, but DoorDash knows her better than her friends. She's got loyalty points, but no actual savings. Her digital receipts are longer than her retirement plan. The scary part? These purchases feel small, but they build habits. Habits that leak money daily without you realizing. And over time, $10 a day habits can cost you tens of thousands in missed investments. How to flip it? Create a convenience budget. Give yourself a fun money cap each week. You want a $7 coffee? Fine. But if that means skipping lunch tomorrow, that's your choice. You're the CEO of your wallet. Act like it. Better yet, set rules. No food delivery on weekdays. No Amazon orders past 9 p.m. Make impulse spending inconvenient. That's how you flip it. Okay, but what if I told you some people are paying interest just to look like they're doing okay? Habit 4, buying status on credit. All right, let's stop playing around for a minute and get serious. Because this one hurts, I fell trapped to this, and it might be one of the biggest regrets of my life. And that is financing your image. Here, let me explain. Charging new iPhones to credit cards. Financing clothes with buy now, pay later. Leasing cars you can't afford just to look like you're crushing it. Oh, and here's a financial fact that sounds like a diss track. If your net worth is negative, but your sneakers are $400, the math ain't mathing. This habit is like setting your money on fire just to warm someone else's perception of you. And don't even get me started on store credit cards. 28% APR just to get 10% off at checkout? That's not a deal. That's a debt trap with a shiny bow. And look, this is something you need to understand clearly. People finance stuff because they think image equals success. But when the monthly payments start eating your future, that illusion gets real expensive, real fast. Nobody remembers what shoes you wore last month, but you will definitely remember the balance sitting on your credit report. How to flip it? If you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it once. Build your status through skills, not stuff. Take a course, start a side hustle, build your resume. You want to flex? Show people how you moved out of debt, not into a BMW with 19% interest. And before I explain how to do it, let me remind you of a rule I always repeat. Invest in the things that make you valuable, not just look valuable. That's how real success shows up. Not on your wrist, but in your results. You might not be swiping your way into debt, but there's another habit draining your future in disguise. And it's hiding behind a smiling face and a, sure, I'll come. Habit 5, social spending pressure. So what do I mean by this? Well, let's clear something up. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Come out, it's just one night. We always do birthday trips. Don't be cheap. Social pressure might not come with a price tag up front, but your bank account feels every bit of it. You want to support your friends, join the fun, and not look like the broke one in the group. But trying to keep up with everyone's spontaneous plans is like setting fire to your financial future, one mimosa at a time. Here's another example. Let's say that a guy I know, let's call him Chris. Chris said yes to every invite for a year. He spent over $9,000. Know what he has to show for it? A blurry Instagram story and a mild hangover. That's it. But here's the psychological trap. You feel like saying no makes you look cheap or distant. But what actually happens is you build resentment toward your finances, your friends, and yourself. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say you can't do fun things or go out from time to time. I get it. It's important to keep that a part of your life. But you don't need to attend every event to prove loyalty. If your friendships are based on constant spending, ask yourself what happens when the money dries up. Spoiler, the real ones stay. The rest disappear like your checking balance on rent day. How to flip it? Set financial boundaries. Pick your yes moments. Offer alternatives. Can't do dinner, but want to hang? Come over for drinks. Be honest. Say, I'm on a budget right now. Rain check? If they're real friends, they'll respect it. And if they're not, congratulations. You just saved money and cut out dead weight. Because the truth is, freedom isn't just about income. It's about control, especially over who gets your time, your money, and your energy. Now, buckle up, because this next habit isn't about what you do, but what you don't. Habit 6, not investing in yourself. Okay. Now here's where things gets really spicy. The irony of it all is this. The most expensive thing you can do is nothing. Not learning, not improving, not growing. But how exactly do you change that mindset? Don't worry, I'll explain everything in detail. Just be patient because it's important to understand the theory before I explain the practice. Most people wouldn't blink at spending $100 on a night out, but hesitate when it comes to investing $30 in a book that could change their mindset forever. That's the paradox. We're quick to spend on temporary pleasures, but hesitant to spend on permanent upgrades. Self-investment isn't just about money, it's about time, energy, and attention. Are you scrolling TikTok for 3 hours a day or learning a high-income skill? Are you letting Netflix autoplay the next episode? Or taking a free online course that could change your career? How to flip it. Budget for self-growth like it's rent. $50 per month for books, courses, communities. Create a learning hour each week where you intentionally sharpen your skills. And yes, YouTube counts. If you're not subscribed yet, well, here's your chance. But only if you're watching videos that teach, not just entertain. Because the greatest ROI is you. Every dollar you invest in your growth is a dollar that multiplies. In your confidence, your clarity, and your income. You upgrade, everything else upgrades with you. All right, you made it this far, but there's one final habit, and this one's the silent killer, the reason most people stay stuck. Habit 7, thinking short term. Honestly, I know many people who make this mistake, and it's something we need to discuss seriously, so pay attention because this is the habit that's robbing generations. Thinking in paychecks, not portfolios. In weekends, not decades. It's the mindset that says, I'll worry about that later, while racking up credit card interest today. It's living like Friday is more important than your future. And it's dangerously easy to fall into, especially when you're surrounded by people who think YOLO is a wealth-building strategy. Here's a real-life contrast. Poor mindset. Why save $100 when it won't make a difference? Wealthy mindset. If I save $100 per month for 10 years at 10%, that's $20,000 plus. The short-term thinker sees $100 and thinks pizza. The long-term thinker sees $100 and thinks passive income. One ends in regret, the other ends in freedom. Real example. Marcus used to live for the weekend. Every Friday was a celebration. Happy hours, new outfits, Uber rides, the works. 10 years later, he looked back and realized he'd spent over $50,000 on nights he barely remembered and saved nothing for the life he actually wanted. How to flip it. Start asking, what will this cost me long term? Every time you spend. When you train your brain to think in decades instead of days, your entire life transforms. Use the 10-10-10 rule. Will this matter in 10 days, 10 months, 10 years? Most impulse buys don't even pass the 10-minute test. Build a vision. Set long-term goals. Think in assets, not just income. Because the people who build wealth don't think small. They think forward. You don't have to give up fun. You just have to stop giving up your future. Put it like this. Silence is golden. So is your bank account. Let's get to work. If this video slapped you in the face a little, at least in a good way, comment the words rich habits only. So I know who's all serious about this. Share it with your friend who's still financing AirPods. Oh, and as a matter of fact, if you're still struggling with money, we've created a step-by-step video breaking down exactly how to break free. Just click the video on the screen here, and we'll see you in the next one.